Greetings, loved ones. Today we're going to talk about safety planning with children. When putting a plan into place to leave an abuser, don't leave the children out of the loop. To help get these messages out, please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, hit the like button and the notification bell, and share these messages with others because you never know, just by doing so you could save a life. If you're getting ready to leave an abuser, you'll need to plan for the safety and care of your children during your departure. As you start planning and pack what you need, based on the age and maturity level of your children, you can decide how much to involve them in the safety plan. So we're going to divide this up into different age groups and what you can do with each age group. First, we're going to talk about babies, toddlers, and preschoolers. Survivors who are leaving abusers and who have very young children will undoubtedly take the children with them when they escape. These children are not old enough to participate in or understand a safety plan, but toddlers and preschoolers should still be assured that they are safe. Bring specific comfort items from home if possible, like their blankie or their moo-moo or their mimi or their whatever is the thing that they cuddle with. Bring that with you when you're escaping to a shelter or other temporary living arrangement. If you plan on taking the children out of state, please make sure that you understand the laws of your state regarding child custody. This is to make sure that you can't be accused of parental kidnapping. It's best to talk to a lawyer if you plan on leaving the state with your children without your partner knowing. Okay, so let's talk about elementary schoolers, ages, K through 6, we'll say. Survivors with school-age children, they can start to involve them in safety plans, but giving them too much detail is not a good idea. Younger children can't really do secrets. A little kid might be walking with an abuser and say, "Hey, this is where my mommy says that I'm supposed to meet her and wait for her." They're trusting, says Susan Bernstein, a Massachusetts-based licensed social worker and marriage and family therapist with expertise in domestic violence. Abusers are skilled at manipulating children. They can make children believe that abuse is normal or not that serious. They can convince the child that life is better with them. They'll say, "Who's going to buy the groceries? Who's going to buy you candy? Or don't you want mom to be happy?" So you can't necessarily trust younger children not to share information with abusers. What can children in this age group handle? Well, they can learn general safety tips without connecting those tips to domestic violence. This is a sneaky way to teach them. You can teach them a safety code word that can be used in dangerous situations in general. I really like this. I use this with our kids and staff. For example, if your word is giraffe, you could teach your child to say something like, "We're having fun. We just watched a show about a giraffe." If they call you from a play date and the situations feel unsafe. So if they're with somebody and they're talking to you, they can use that word giraffe in a sentence to say, "Hey, I'm in trouble, I need help." And you could also teach them that you might use the code word to signal to them that they should call 911. So if they hear you say the word giraffe, they know how to call 911 without specifically mentioning an abusive situation that might trigger that call. With children in this age group, it's feasible when you plan your departure that you could involve another trusted person to help transition them to a safe place as they leave school. Consider adding 1 or 2 people to the list of those allowed to pick up your child after school. That could be an older child who can be trusted, a family friend, an aunt, an uncle, or a DCF worker. You have to decide in a thoughtful and wise way who is going to be included so the child has supervised transition into the safety plan. Also, I would give those kids code words so that if a person who is picking them up isn't the normal person like you or your husband, that person has a code word like giraffe or banana or something like that, so the kid can say, "What's the code word?" And then if the person doesn't know the code word, they know not to go with that person. That's always a good thing to do. So let's talk about middle schoolers and older children. These older children, they might be able to handle additional information. Each survivor is best able to judge if their children are mature enough to be trusted with details on the safety plan. An 11-year-old who's been to overnight camp might be more self-reliant, while a middle schooler who has never walked home from school might not be able to manage on their own in a stressful situation. If you feel your child is old enough, You can share more details, like the reason you have a safety code word and an exit plan. With older kids, you may be able to put a plan in place and rely on them to follow it without an adult's help. For example, you can identify a safe home or location and tell your child that if they received a text, a call, or a message from you with that secret word, then they need to go there without question. Older children, they might also be able to help escort and comfort younger children. Walk through the plan with them and make sure they know the route to their safe location, since emotions will likely be running high when you put your plan in place. You might need to remind older children that it's not their job to protect you from abuse. It's actually the adult who is getting most of the abuse, and the older child might want to be a buffer. Tell them, I can't be at my best if you're in danger. Older children need to understand that they need to go to the designated place, and you will meet them there, even if that means leaving you with an abuser. With 1 in 3 women experiencing domestic violence worldwide, the question is not 1 in 3 women, the question is not if you will encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. We are all called to be champions for justice, and those who suffer violence, they need to know that those who love them and those who don't even know them will step out and reach out to give them the help and the courage they need to leave before it's too late. Help us get these messages out so those who are suffering violence will know how to get out of their violence. And if you are not a victim, you will know how to recognize somebody who's suffering and help them. So subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, hit the like button and the message bell, and share these messages with others. You never know. Just by doing so, you could save a life. Oh, man, I just want to talk to you. If you're a victim of violence, I really want you to listen to me now, because you have been told so many lies. And I want you to know that you are valued, you are loved, you are intelligent, you are beautiful. God does not want you to suffer violence. He wants you to live free from violence in peace and tranquility, and there is a way out. It's not your fault. Abuse is not love. If you're a victim of violence, please reach out to someone. And if you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about specific facts related to children and domestic violence. Until then, God bless you.